And with that, I will welcome Admiral Caudle, who is, we're incredibly blessed to have him here this morning to talk with us. He is the commander of U.S. Fleet Forces Command, meaning quite simply that across a wide variety of competencies, he is responsible for getting those assets to our sailors and to our component commanders who are going to fight the fight. Admiral Caudle has about 38 years of service to our Navy and nation, a submariner. So especially grateful to have one of the senior submariners in the Navy here. His last job was the commander of submarine forces. It's all the submarines. And commander submarine forces Atlantic, as well as the same job-ish. I'm sure he would distinguish between them, but has also been a commander of the USS Jefferson City. I hope I got that right, sir. And had a couple of other commands of submarines as well, and Submarine Group 3, and various other policy and operational positions, giving him an incredibly diverse set of experience and knowledge and skills. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Admiral Daryl Caudle to the stage for our keynote address.
All right, well, good morning. How's everybody doing today? It's really a fantastic event. Thank you, Matt, for that introduction. And to those completing the 2023 Virginia Talent Pipeline and signing on to a company, and those celebrating a new addition to the team, congratulations, or as we say in the Navy, bravo Zulu. I'm honored to be with you today for your signing for this program and allowing me to be part of the conclusion of this chapter of your lives and the beginning of the next. And what an exciting day. I can sense the excitement in the room. I can see it in your faces, and especially coming from your loved ones who are extremely proud of what you have accomplished and what you will accomplish, as Matt said, in support of our national security. And let me take a moment to address the family and friends directly. Your love and support were essential throughout this demanding program and will remain crucial as they move into their new careers. And I thank you for your continued encouragement as their careers take off. Now, how about a round of applause for all the families and friends of the Hampton Road class of 2023. This morning, we celebrate a success that is a year in the making, an achievement in which you learned your critical skills through dedication and hard work, including substantial technical education, valuable real-world waterfront experience, and comprehensive examination. Thus, it is important to me personally to be with you today so that I can relay the special significance of this achievement to each and every one of you. You are part of truly something special. No one else can do what our industrial base can do anywhere in the world. No one else is able to sustain a combat fleet of conventional and nuclear-powered warships at such a high tempo over the class life cycle of 30, 40, and even 50 years. No one else is so critical to our ability to deter, to control the seas, and power project at our timing and tempo. You all should be extremely proud. I know I am. It's impossible to see the talent before me today and not be excited and confident in the future of our country. It's not only because of the mind-boggling scope and pace of repairs to the world's sophisticated and lethal instruments of military power, but it's also because of the people that do the work. But before I get too far ahead of myself, let's cover why we're here today. Given this diverse group of government executives and program offices, industry leaders, retirees, veterans, I hope all are acutely aware of my on-the-record displeasure with our collective inability to produce and deliver ordnance on time and on cost, to complete maintenance and modernization availabilities on time and on cost, and the need to be at flank speed to build the much-needed capacity and output from our public and private shipyards. But on this signing day and Talent Pipeline Program Acknowledgement Celebration, my message remains consistent. We must all work together to build concrete and accountable actions that will get our Navy ship and submarine building plan back on track. This is an imperative that will ultimately allow fleet and type commanders to generate the forces needed that are combat ready and support our forward operational commanders, and additionally have an equally prepared force standing at the ready to surge and support contingency operations. And with that in mind, what I want to talk to you about today is the assembly of a world-class team of shipbuilders, engineers, program managers, business leaders, industry partners, sailors and operators, welders, pipe fitters, craftsmen, trainers, and facilitators that we will accomplish side by side, day in and day out, all in the name of peace, security, and prosperity of this great nation. For those of you who are unsure of what I do as the fleet commander, or what we do at Fleet Forces at Command across my many hats, I am charged with organizing, training, and equipping a force of over 125,000 sailors and civilians with hundreds of ships and submarines and aircrafts that support facilities across the U.S. Atlantic Fleet that can ultimately prevail in high-end conflict while meeting the objectives of our combatant commanders worldwide. In short, we protect America from attack and go forward to defend our interests around the world, and if needed, fight and win on terms favorable to the United States. I will tell you as straightforward and as simply as possible, we need everyone in this room and across the nation to be all in, and not only the ship and submarine building and repair industry, but the defense industrial base writ large. There are threats on the horizons, and peacetime operations could one day become full kinetic warfare with little notice. As you see and hear about in the news, we are operating squarely in a maritime era. For decades now, we've enjoyed freedom of maneuver around the world and supported our land and air forces securely from the sea. But we're in a different world today. The sea has once again emerged as the primary focal point for peer competition, and the stakes have never been higher. Russia is actively engaging in an illegal war of ruthless aggression against Ukraine, while year after year deploying its ships and submarines to our coastlines looking to shake our confidence. China is a pacing challenge to our way of life with its unprecedented proliferation of combat power in the Indo-Pacific and its continued attack on the international rules-based order. China's Navy is the largest in the world, with a battle force of around 340 platforms, including major surface combatants, submarines, ocean-going amphibious ships, mine warfare ships, aircraft carriers, and fleet auxiliaries. This figure does not include the approximately 85 patrol combatants and craft that carry anti-ship cruise missiles. The overall battle force of China's Navy is expected to grow to 400 ships by 2025 and 440 by 2030. The U.S. Navy is around 295 ships and will remain at that number over the next few years. With strategic competition here, the potential for strategic conflict steadily grows, and we cannot afford to continue to fall behind. We must leverage our areas of overmatch and enduring value. That's why in 2021, the Department of Defense, through the Program of Executive Office Submarines, funded this talent pipeline program, and thank God we did, to serve as a consultant to improve small to medium defense employers' ability to attract, hire, train, retain, and new hires beyond 1 year, significantly increasing the probability the employees will remain with the company or at least in the field, with a goal to ultimately improve the production capacity of the submarine industrial base to meet the defense industrial base's requirements to recapitalize our fleet over the next 30 years. Simply stated, the Department of Defense is investing time and energy into supporting the talent pipeline programs to build a strong foundation for private companies to ensure we never enter a fair fight with our Navy. The program office and Joe Bartow and his team, and I believe all that with a positive performance and growth comes through teamwork. Teamwork on the production floor with transparent leaders, champion constructive debate, innovation, hard work, and accountability. We need our workforce to not just feel a sense of connectedness, but to feel a sense of belonging and deep affinity to a world-class organization enabled by trust and respect. I think best teams weather storms together. Well, they have each other's back, they care for each other, and they pick each other up after a loss or tragedy. That's how we remain the world's most elite, integrated, full spectrum, and combat credible fighting force. And let me be crystal clear, elite is not perfect. Perfection leads to stagnation. Stagnation discourages innovation. And without innovation, we lose the ability to continually improve and attract and retain talent. An innovative and collaborative spirit attracts people like you to create, iterate, and produce the materials, equipment, repair activities necessary to win decisively in combat. We must never be comfortable with a product. Drive your teams to be elite by continuously and critically evaluating yourselves and improving. Any workforce given the time, space, and clear guidance will always create innovative solutions to our most challenging problems. I believe that if a team of employers and employees in this program have the right level of support, you all will in turn be able to provide greater support to the Navy fleet construction and sustainment programs so that the Defense Industrial Base can increase the capacity to help build 2 Virginia-class attack submarines, 1 Columbia-class ballistic missile submarine, 2 Arleigh Burke-class destroyers each year, while continuing to build the 4 class carriers and the new Constellation-class frigates, plus continuing to support sustainment of our operational fleet. That is a tall order. While China and Russia can build their ships, tanks, aircraft, ordnance, and post pictures on social media all they want, our weapon systems are not just window dressing. They're not just talking points. Our weapon systems are built by talented industrial base and manned by battle-hardened warfighters who are absolutely ready to take the fight to the adversary and win. And speaking of our sailors and families, right now there are 15 submarines deployed around the world, showing firsthand why the President, the Secretary of Defense, the combatant commanders, and Navy leadership rely on the submarine force as the first to the fight and last to leave as the steely-eyed killers of the deep. Now, I'm not the first, and I certainly will not be the last to tell you that it is an indisputable fact that our 2 carrier strike groups, the Gerald R. Ford and the Ronald Reagan, are currently operating off the coast of Norway and in the Western Pacific, are the centerpiece of not only our naval fighting force, but our ability to overtly project power and strategic deterrence around the world. That force is a direct output of your efforts. You are joining an employer which is part of a world-class team of professionals focused and bore-sighted on helping the Navy secure our nation's vital national interest. We could not do it without you. As you will hear from the next few speakers, this program works, but it's still in its infancy. We will learn. As the talent pipeline expands across the East Coast, from Philadelphia to Hampton Roads to New York and Boston, we must all remain committed to improving our processes and continuing to invest in ourselves and our talent base. I would like to thank the many facilitators, training providers, and employers for participating in this venture. You are fighting to make companies better that will attract our nation's best to produce the platforms responsible for our nation's defense. And so for each of you, that vocation, that mission, provides a vast array of opportunities as you continue to progress as an artisan and as a craftsman. So the employees beginning your journey, I encourage you to stick with it and lean on your loved ones in times of doubt. Your vocation, your mission, creates a positive and lasting fighting difference in our ships and submarines, and most importantly for our sailors of the fleet who rely on your hard work, who sail the ships you have built around the world. It is a noble pursuit. It matters to your family because you can provide them with everything they need to thrive. It matters to your community because your work keeps our local economy humming and the fleet fighting. And it matters to your nation because that fleet can be present where it matters most to defend U.S. interests around the world. No other institution contributes so directly or so significantly to the nation's defense. For as long as the Navy has been America's away team, Hampton Roads Industrial Base has been the heart of our fleet, the readiness engine that revitalizes our ships, making them ready to fight and win. So celebrate today's occasion because it is certainly an achievement worth enjoying. And we know that happiness in life is about enjoying great experiences with those who you love and admire and with those who support you. And I challenge you to continue aggressively pursuing excellence by becoming a master craftsman of the highest order. You have certainly learned much over the course of the last year, but as the famous American journalist and author Thomas Friedman observed, quote, "The most enduring skill you can bring to the workplace is the ability to learn how to learn." So in closing, I would argue that your journey toward true mastery of your craft is where you will find genuine fulfillment and passion for your career. It starts today. All of the necessary ingredients are there, and your apprenticeship program has you off to a very fast start, imbuing you with a powerful combination of comprehensive knowledge and superior craftsmanship. You will work hard, no doubt, dedicated to a career that has real meaning to your family, to your community, to your Navy and nation, and to the world. After all, when you see your ships doing great things, like the Ford and Reagan out there right now, you will have the privilege of telling yourself and your loved ones, and everyone should listen to you, I did that. I helped make my country safe and secure today. I do it every day. Thank you and congratulations.